Do not sell your home right now, or at least not until you hear this, because a lot of homeowners, they are making a giant mistake right now, and we want to avoid you from making any changes that lead to major regret. If you are considering selling your home, you're probably looking at the Zestimate, watching YouTube videos, talking to real estate agents, and you're thinking, well, look at all this money we could potentially make on this sale. And if you're talking to real estate agents, they almost certainly are going to agree with you, but is that really a good decision for you in the long term? So before we get into all the mistakes or the reasons why you shouldn't sell your home, let's talk about the valid reasons why you should. Let's say you just inherited a home from a family member and you need to offload it, or you just got married, or just have kids and need a bigger place to live. Or if you're running into financial trouble and you need to minimize your cost of housing. Of course, there are always valid reasons to want to sell your home, and that's why in any real estate market, there will always be some people buying and selling homes. But what I want to warn you of is something I've heard every single year for nearly a decade, which is the market is peaking. I want to cash out, or I'm going to rent for a bit and then buy back in once the prices drop. And specifically, that's just trying to time the market. The honest truth is most people get it wrong. Now, luckily, it's a fairly small percentage of people that actually decide to sell their home and hoard cash, but it does happen. That's how myself and my wife bought our current home in 2023. The sellers were pretty open with the fact that they were cashing out before prices came down. Now, I'd be curious to know what their thoughts are about that today, that strategy that they put in place. So my absolute biggest advice for you when it comes to this exact topic is just don't try to time the market. If you want to sell because it makes sense for you, that's fine, but do not try and sell your home to time the market. Now, if it does make sense to sell, it's also important to be realistic with the process in today's current market. A lot has changed since 2021, but when buyers were flooding the market here in San Diego. And just for some perspective, right now across the county, the expected market time when you list a home, how long we expect that average home to sell, is up to 99 days. Now, just keep in mind, the market is constantly changing. You have the overall health of the market, and then you also have the seasonal market that we see every single year. More buyers and sellers in the summer and fewer in the winter. So whenever you are considering a sale, just make sure to be realistic of the market so you can plan accordingly. But the thing that most people do not consider at all is what it actually costs to sell your home. It's not just cashing in a big check. You're taking on agent fees, moving costs, potential capital gains. Yes, you might be able to write off $250,000 or $500,000 in capital gains, but if you're selling a $1.5 or $2.5 million home and you've lived there for 10, 20, 30 years, that might actually exceed the amount that you can write off. You also might have higher property taxes in your new property, unless you are 55 or older and relocating within California, which you can avoid that in certain instances. But you also have the hassle factor. You're going to have to get a mortgage somewhere near 7% as opposed to what you currently have, which maybe is at 2.5%, 3.5%, 4%. And there are two main alternatives that you can consider. Number one is to take a HELOC loan or a second loan out on the house for whatever purchases or additions that you need to make on your current home. Or number two, you can keep your current home, you can hang on to that 3% mortgage, and you can rent out your property. Now, if you have the opportunity to cash flow your property as rental, remember, it's very likely to be worth significantly more in 10 to 15 years. So holding on to it could actually be one of the best financial decisions that you could ever make. Now, the absolute biggest advice I can ever give on this topic has three parts. Number one, do not sell out of fear. Number two, do not sell because you're bored or frustrated with the current market. And probably most importantly, number three, do not try to outsmart the market. It almost always wins. Now, if you'd like help evaluating your options and you are in Carlsbad or North County, San Diego, I'd love to interview you for the job. And you can reach out at 619-719-1122, or you can scan the QR code to check out our nearly 200 5-star Google reviews and learn why we are #1 in client satisfaction here in Carlsbad and North County, San Diego. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.